What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chris, aka the Water King, coming at you for another Dueling Bros video. And I'm super duper excited today, okay? Because we're gonna do a deck breakdown plus some deck advice, okay? I am gonna do an all-in-one video. I'm gonna do my best to break down my new SEANCE Updated Frost deck, and also I'm going to try to give you guys the best deck advice that I can give while going through it. That way, when you go to make your Seance deck, whether it be you're trying my Seance updated ice deck, maybe my water earth deck that I've already posted, or somebody else's deck that they posted online, net decking is a-okay. Just make sure you practice it and make sure you try it out and follow some of the tips that I give. Maybe you already know some of the tips that I'm going to give in the video, and that's okay too. But a lot of people have been asking for me to go in more depth in my deck breakdowns about some of my decisions and stuff, because sometimes me just saying, oh, I like this card, this is the card, this is what it does, and it pairs well with this card, isn't enough. And I get that. And sometimes I just try to speed up videos for time reasons. But today, I'm not going to focus on that. Today, I'm going to focus on getting as much information into the video as possible for you guys. So without further ado, we're done with me rambling about nonsense about what I'm going to do, and we're going to do it. Let's get into this Frost deck breakdown plus deck advice. I hope you guys are super excited. May have to break it up into a couple of segments. We'll see after I get done recording, but let's get into it. So why are we talking about Frost today? Well, because I'm trying not two birds out with one stone. I'm trying to encourage more people to try more things. I want to do some deck advice with some seance, and then I'm trying to get you guys to try new stuff. Okay, it is very, very important to try new things and not just stick with one aura type. One aura type, in my personal opinion, if you just play one aura type, you're not gonna have that much success. I think you'll have success if the meta is great for that aura type, but like water was amazing in Nightfall, and then Wilderness they released Hornets, and water is just, it is so hard with Hornets because Hornets are just so rude. And then now people aren't playing Hornets quite as much in the meta, so water's somewhat making a resurgence. Now, will we see Hornets come back because we've seen water top a few times? Maybe. We don't know. That's something that's part of the meta going forward. And now we have also all these new Seance cards, so who knows? Who knows if Hornets are going to make it back in? Who knows where water's going to be at? But who knows where anything's at? So we're here with Frost right now. And I got 12 aura here. This is a 45 card deck. Normally in a 45 card deck, I would run 13 aura. My teammates have really helped me figure out that 10 and 11 aura just ain't cutting it. So 12 aura in a 40 card deck, 42 card deck. That's where I rock it. 12 aura nowadays. And then anything above 42, like 43 to 45, I'm at 13 card. I'm at 13 aura. Okay. Now you'll see here in a second that I don't have the 13th aura because I have other things in here that will help me generate aura. And then this deck is also a slow deck, so you're not trying to empty your hand with a Frost deck. You're trying to play an aura, and then you'll probably pass, and you probably play an aura, and then you'll pass, and then when you have the 2 aura up, you have Icy Path, and you basically, when you want to threaten an Icy Path the entire game, it's very, very tricky, and I think 12 aura will do you guys good. Try it out in any of your decks, because what the worst thing is getting to a tournament. You've done all that preparation, and you go aura dry. It's the worst. Going aura dry consistently. Now, guys, you do have to remember that variance is a thing, and you still may go aura dry, and that's okay, because you're not gonna go undefeated, even with getting as much advice in the world won't help you go undefeated. You are going to lose, and that's okay. Variants, people are going to be better than you. People are going to have thought of things that you weren't going to think of, and that's okay. But if you keep practicing, one of these days will be your day. Let's get into the next portion. Okay, now we're talking about artifacts. Now, these aren't the normal artifacts that you hear about, right? Whenever you think of artifacts. Normally, most people think of orifacts when they think of artifacts, like Eternal Snowflake for Frost and stuff. But we don't have those here today. The Frost is a slow deck, and I don't really think that running artifacts to help you empty your hand are going to be very helpful in this scenario. Where I think this helps is Frost Ring. Frost Ring has Convert. It has 1 Frost Aura, 50 LP, and its power is target beast or artifact is dealt 10 damage where X, or 10x damage where X is the number of Frost Rings in the arena that beastie or artifact is also inflicted with Frozen X. So artifacts can be frozen. So Frost Ring is so versatile. I have barely seen anybody use it, and it is by far one of my favorite Frost cards. If you have all 3 out, they stack like crazy. You freeze 3 beasties. If you have 2 out, you can basically just continuously freeze something and stop it constantly. This card is so good. It does damage and it freezes. You can freeze an artifact, or you can deal damage to an artifact, beastie artifact damage that is outside of spells and attacks, that is consistent, is absolutely phenomenal. So the fact that people overlook this card is blowing my mind. And if you do end up trying this deck, if you take out Frost Ring, I'm gonna be upset at you. Just know that right away. And then today we have Frost Shield. That's right. So Frost Shield, arena beasties you control cannot have their traits nullified or removed by effect pages. So 1 Frost and 1 neutral, 3 per spellbook. Target beastie gains defender until the end of the next turn is its power. This artifact is very, very good. Now, full disclosure, we have more in the side deck, but not everybody is going to be maining trait get rid of like FAC and toxic water and stuff. Now, should you? Arguably, but that's a topic for a different deck. We aren't running that in this deck because we are using traits to our advantage in this deck, and then we want to make sure that they can stay there. So you're gonna have plenty of time to draw into this card, and then for side decking wise, if you need to get that second one in there, then you can get a second one in there to make sure that your traits don't get nullified. And then so before we move on to the next segment, we're just gonna bring in this Terra in Winter. Winter is our Terra for the day, okay? Now, we love Winter here at the Dueling Brothers, okay? Now, you might say, do you love winter more or snowing? I'm gonna tell you, I like snowing more. Winter is not as good as snowing in my opinion, but if you ask me, can you have a Frost deck without Winter? The answer is no. You cannot have a Frost deck without Winter. So many things get powered from Winter, and then so many things get powered from snowing. It's about the synchronicity of the 2 Terras together, and I've been saying that from the beginning, and we will get into the Terra portion more later when we get into the beasties, but let's jump into these spells real quick, okay? We're not running that many artifacts, and because all of our artifacts are 1-drop, they are not 0-drop, they cannot be Absorb Aura'd, so they are safe from the Absorb Aura. The Absorb Aura is running rampant right now. Very, very good counter to the Absorb Aura as well. Give your opponent those dead cards, okay? Alright, so we're getting into these spells, okay? Naturally, you're going to have that Power Up red there. Power Up red, you place it under a target beastie, and it gains 100 LP and 100 damage on its attack. That is just, it's pretty much in every deck. Pretty much. Okay? you can definitely make a deck without Power Up Red, and there are decks out there that do not require Power Up Red. Spoiler alert, there are decks out there that do not require Power Up Red, but it is heavily favored to be in every deck, and it's not a bad choice. It's not a bad choice. 3 neutral. And then for 1 neutral, we got New Year's New Beginnings. Like always, your boy Chris is a New Year's New Beginnings fan, not a New Beginnings fan. If you make a deck where you can't get rid of anything, then I think you should try again. Because this card is all about getting rid of your opponent's hand. So I think I would rather, I mean, nobody has ever New Beginnings to me, and I've been like, oh no, you New Beginnings to me. So, but whenever I get New Year's New Beginnings, I'm like, shit, fuck, like, oh man, this could be not good. So, because you don't get to shuffle or anything. So that's why I go New Year's New Beginnings. It's all about you're getting rid of your opponent's hand, not necessarily what getting rid of your hand. Because you can empty your hand and then try to play it, or you can almost empty your hand and there's more dampens now than just dampen. And then if someone tries to dampen, you can dampen that dampen and then play New Year's New Beginnings. It's a very good card, and I think people are trying to go to New Beginnings, and I think it's not a good move. That's my personal opinion. And then Bookmark, you are just a silly goosehead if you think you're not putting this card in your deck. It's 1 neutral, and you can bookmark 2. 1 aura, draw 2. 1 aura, draw 2. You play both of them, and that's 4 cards for 2 aura. Any aura. That's 1 less than growth, okay? So, very good card. There's no way this should not be in your deck, okay? Now, Icy Path is the MVP probably of any Frost deck, because it's one of the strongest spell, if not the strongest spell in the game. I know Dampen's very strong, Curse Contract very strong. There's tons and tons of stuns of strong spells like in board wipes, but like being able to redirected attack is so strong. So we're gonna max that out at 4 Icy Paths, and it has to be a legal target. So and the first iteration did not say legal target. So if you say, look, it just says you may select a new target for the attack, and then there was a lot of controversy about it when it first came out. So you may select a new legal target for the attack. So you cannot Icy Path a spirit into a spirit unless the new Vapor Terra is out, Vile Vapors, or unless FAC has been played, or unless you've Toxic Watered that Spirit Beastie that you're trying to what you call Icy Path into, but that wouldn't be your turn. So it would be your opponent who would have had to Toxic Water that Beastie. Basically, the trait Spirit would have to be removed, and Invisible would have to be removed. Flying would have to be removed, Burrow would have to be removed, and so forth. So don't just think that you can Icy Path into just anything, but a solid move, an always solid move. Power Up Red onto Beastie, they attack, Icy Path into caster. A lot of damage, and it's a very strong counter to the Power Up Red. Say you don't have your 2nd anniversary or anything like that. So speaking of not having 2nd anniversary, I don't have 2nd anniversary in this deck either because of the removal and Icy Path. Like I just said, I would rather let someone Icy Path or Power Up Red, and then I would just Icy Path them into the caster. Now Alaskan Vortex is a straight up pop, okay? Destroy up to 1 Beastie controlled by each opposing caster. Take up to 2 Frost spells from your cemetery whose combined aura costs are 3 or less and place them into your chapter. Destroy up to 1 Beastie, not destroy up to 1 target Beastie, just destroy up to 1 Beastie. So you can destroy Magi-proof Beasties with this spell, which is why this spell is so strong and so many people love this spell. So now you cannot, don't try to be a silly goosehead and try to pull Frost Ring back out with this, because Frost Ring isn't in the cemetery, it's in the limbo. Even though it costs 1, it's an artifact, it's not a spell. You can only bring back spells. So in this specific iteration of the deck, you can only bring back Icy Path. Guess what? That's really all you need, because whenever I tried playing with Frostbite, or ice spell or any of those other 1-drop spells. I just felt like I would rather have more ice beasties. The ice beasties are so strong, and we're gonna get into those in a minute. And I'm telling you, I have a very heavy beastie deck, and it is very, very good. I really love my deck. The final 2 spells are a Seance, the Hermit. Okay, this is Frost dampened in a sense. If you reveal the Hermit Tarot card to an opposing caster, you may contract this page at any time. Replace the effects text of target spell with recover 50 LP. The resolution of this spell's effect cannot be prevented. So basically it's gonna have to be another spell like this one to stop it. So like someone's gonna have to hermit you, or someone's gonna have to curse contract you in order to stop this spell. Or each caster places all beasties into their chapter except for 1 beastie they control. Either way, this is a very good card. That's why it costs 5 Frost Aura, and I recommend you putting it in your deck because Frost is very slow, and there are some times where I have 5 Frost Aura up and I didn't really need to tap any, and I could just wait and play that because now that you can play and stop board clear, you can play more aggressively with your Frost deck rather than, oh no, you're so slow, and then you eventually do get the chance to finally get beasties out, and then they had their time, your opponent has had their time to build up aura for their board wipe, and then you just get board wipe. Now Hermit can help stop that. Okay, let's get into the next portion. Okay, the final portion of the meat and potatoes itself, the beasties. Okay, we got 4 Amikucks. Okay, Amikuck is great. Okay, Amikuck is great. As a 2-drop, 30 LP, it's a trap, burrow, gets 15 damage from lake, 15 damage from winter. This page's attacks deal plus 20 damage of fishing rods when eyesight, so make sure you bring that item with you. And then its arena effect is this page gains first strike while depending. Gaping Maw is frozen 1 and 20 damage and has earth type advantage. So now a lot of people try to get Amikuck with toxic water, okay? And sure, you will remove the trap and the burrow, okay? And then you will unburrow it with the toxic water and you attack Amikuck. It did not have first strike when you toxic watered it. It gains first strike while it's defending. So Amikuck will have that first strike when you attack it. And so if you attack an Amikuck and you can't outlive its 55 damage with winter out, then you're gonna die. So you just need to be wary. That's a common mistake I see made. People try to toxic water Amikuck, and that is not the case. FAC, first anniversary celebrations, would nullify this as soon as it became active, and then your attack would go through. So FAC would stop the first strike. Toxic water does not. And we don't max out Amikuck because you only need 4 because we have a very large diversity of untouchable traits in here, and that is the goal. Okay, so now let's get into Pamola, or Pamela Anderson as I like to call her. 3 Frost Aura, 60 LP, Spirit flying, 4 per spellbook, 10 from Snowing and 10 from Mountain. And then it's an arena effect is while this beastie is awakened, Snowing is active. Cursed Judgment, Paralyze, does 40 damage. And its 4th wall effect is if you are playing on a mountaintop or at the base of a mountain, this attack afflicts frozen 1. Okay, now I've talked to a master MZO, alright? And as far as I understand it right now, when you attack with Pamola, when you declared the attack, she was awakened, so Snowing was active. So you would get that 10 damage and she hits for 50 off the rip, okay? So Pamola, very, very strong. Snowing is active. She allows you to not have to have the Snowing Terra, 1 less card for a beastie. All you have to do is sequence it right, okay? All you have to do is sequence it right, okay? Attack with all your Snowing beasties first and then Pamola, okay? Very, very easy to pull off. Very easy to pull off. Now we got Seance Glacial Demon, okay? 3 Frost Aura once again, 60 LP, 3 per spellbook. Notice we got another really hard trait to deal with, invisibility, okay? Invisibility is a very, very hard trait to deal with. You can't even block it, okay? 20 damage from Winter. If there's a sled within eyesight, this beastie enters the arena awakened. Not fleet. It just enters the arena awakened. So FAC would not stop that, okay? It's Strangle power. Discard a page from your chapter to inflict target beastie with Frost 4. That's one of the reasons why I left, why we have 45 cards in the deck in the first place, okay guys? Is so that we can discard a card if needed to do this effect, okay? Because if you have a deck where you feel like you can't get rid of anything, again, like I spoke of earlier, you're a silly business, and it's no bueno, because this effect is so good. Because you can, like, say they're trying to defend with the Quets, you play this, you fatigue, discard a card, Quets is frozen, now you can get past Quets, okay? With another beastie. This beastie only does 10 damage, but it does have confusion. 30 with the Winter out, of course. That confusion is so strong, okay? And with confusion, if you attack something with Stone Skin, confusion is effect damage, so Stone Skin will block that damage. Now you may, if it doesn't hit itself, if that beastie does have Stone Skin, then you still get to save yourself from getting the attack back, but that beastie will not take damage from it. So let's be aware, guys, okay? Confusion is not as strong as it used to be against what you call it, Stone Skin. I guess it should have never been, but they let everybody play that way for months and months and months, and then now they have corrected it. Okay, so now we're at Ijirak, one of the strongest beasties, okay? One of the strongest beasties in the game, okay? Another hard trait to deal with invisibility, okay? As 2 Frost, 2 neutral, and 75 LP. Again, we got that confusion and the 10 damage. Now let's get into its contract effect. Very, very strong. Place target opposing beastie face up under this beastie. This beastie is not considered in play while it is under this beastie. When this beastie leaves the arena, place that beastie into the arena awakened under the original owner's control and inflict it with Frozen 2. Now, they forgot to put the 2 there, but it is Frozen 2. So this, and it gets 10 damage from Fog. So basically, if they were to power up Red a beastie, you could just play this, and then boom, that beastie goes under that beastie, gone. Another reason you don't need what you call it, the second anniversary in this deck, because there's just this deck already has so much removal on its own, okay? So much removal on its own, okay? And now we got Jack Frost. Again, Spirit and Flying, another combo of traits that's very hard to deal with if you are seeing the common theme here. We got 5 Frost Aura, 60 LP, 30 damage from Winter. If Winter is active, this page costs 2 less Frost Aura to contract, and it is considered snowing while this page is in the arena. On contract, destroy all Terra pages in the arena except for Winter and snowing. So strong. Destroy Terra right here, baby. I love this card. Love this card, okay? The nipping at your nose is 15 frozen counters and 50 damage, 80 with Winter out. Such a strong card, Jack Frost. Love Jack Frost, just for the contract effect alone, okay? Now, a lot of people sleepy times on Babe the Blue Ox, okay? Quit sleepy timing on Babe the Blue Ox. We got 3 Frost Aura, 110 LP, 2 neutral, okay? 1 per spellbook. 100 damage from snowing. 100 damage from snowing. Thank you, Pomola, okay? This is what I was talking about earlier. You attack with Babe first, then Pomola. This beastie may be contracted for 1 less Frost Aura if it is Winter. We got Winter, right? A beastie, or if a beastie named Paul Bunyan is in the arena. This beastie cannot choose a beastie named Paul Bunyan as the target of an attack, okay? Now, Tundra Stampede starts out with 50. Again, 150 with snowing out. Target opposing page in combat is inflicted with Frozen X, where X is equal to the result of a die roll, okay? This beastie is so strong at 110 LP and then 150 potential damage. I don't know why people don't love Babe more. get that card in your deck. And then Waheela. If you are having a Frost deck party and you don't have Waheela in there, you are hurting yourself, okay? This card is so good, okay? 3 Frost Aura, 1 neutral, 70 LP, Stone Skin. Remember we talked about that Stone Skin and Confusion earlier? You got a beastie protected from it. And we got 25 damage from Snowing and 25 damage from Forest on the attack. And we got Chilled Crunch. There's 3 frozen and 30 damage as its attack, okay? Now, as Waheela enters the arena, until the end of your next turn, it is considered to be snowing. All beasties controlled by opposing casters do not awaken at the start of their next turn. That is so strong. That means you're going to have to lightning in a bottle a beastie to attack with it. Oh man, that's so good. And then power, Frozen Ambush. All fatigued beasties controlled by target opposing caster takes 20 damage. Holy moly. Jeez Louise, right? That is crazy. So if like there's a bunch of tokens, you just play Waheela and then boom. And then you can have 2 of Waheela. Then you can play Waheela and then boom. And then play Waheela again and then double boom. It is so many things can be had from Waheela. And so in total, we have 16 beasties and this 45 card deck, okay? So that is the entire deck, okay? That's it. You Icy Path, you know, away from danger, away your beasties away from danger. Maybe a power bred beastie into the caster. You can confuse things with Ijurak, Glacial Demon. Very hard. Everything in this deck is hard to touch except for Waheela and Bathe the Blue Ox, but Waheela doesn't let stuff awaken. So you have a lot of things that your opposing caster is going to have to deal with this deck, okay? So now I guess the next thing is to do maybe a couple of test draws and see what we're looking like with some test draws. Okay, so let's just get a few test draws in, and then maybe a few little rounds of sequencing so we can just get an idea of what we're trying to go for with this deck, okay? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What a great hand, right? We got 2 Frost Aura, Icy Path, the Amikuk, a Pomola, Waheela, and an Alaskan Vortex. I think that's an A+ hand. We're going to keep. We're not going to mulligan. And then we're going to start out with playing our fancy Frost Aura, okay? Well, I guess we'd have to draw, okay? Oh, wow. And then another Pomola. And then I would just end my turn right there, okay? That's all you can do. And then, you know, they'll probably play Aura, and then you bring it back, right? And then, boom, you got that 3rd Frost Aura. That's why you got 12, okay? So that you always get them, okay? So you got 2 choices here. You can either you can do Amikuk it or you can Icy Path it, okay? Now, if you went second and you feel shenanigans are coming out, like maybe a Power Bred is gonna come out on that turn 3 because they played a beastie before you, I would go for that Icy Path and not play the Amikuk, right? But if you went first, maybe play the Amikuk first because there's no beasties on the field and you can start with getting that board state going. So, you know, let's just say hypothetically, you know, you play that Amikuk and then you end turn and then you burrow, okay? Now, they'll probably play a beastie, right? And then so we go and then boom, and then you draw the Hermit, okay? Looking good. So far we have a lot of stuff that we need, okay? And so now you just play that 3rd Aura, right? And then now you can choose what you want to do. We can play a Pomola or we can play Amikuk, and then we can do that Icy Path, right? So let's just act like we don't have an Icy Path at all. You know, let's just feign that we don't even have one, and let's play a Pomola, okay? So you play that Pomola, and then you know, maybe they have a beastie, maybe they don't, maybe they have an artifact, so you just swing at the artifact, right? And then we'll just pass turn and then come back, and then, you know, they'll probably play a beastie, and you would of course burrow the Amikuk, and then so these 2 things are very, very hard to get rid of, right? Oh, and then you draw your very own Power Bred. So either one of these beasties, Power Breaded, is very, very, very strong to deal with. However, Amikuk gains first strike while defending, so try attempt to power spread that, right? I always attempt, because you never know about second anniversary. And then you can attack for 50, 140, for then 190, and then this is probably going to make for a quick game, right? And then you got that fourth Frost Aura. So let's say maybe they've got like a nice board or whatever, right? Then you just play Frost Aura. Now fatigue 4, okay, again, you don't have to do that. If they have something that you feel like you want an Icy Path instead, and then maybe Alaskan Vortex, that's good. But if maybe they didn't attack with their power breaded beastie trying to defend your Amy Cuck, you can Alaskan Vortex, boom, their shit is gone, right? Or you can play Wahila, and then their stuff doesn't awaken next turn if, say, they don't have a beastie. There's so much versatility you can do with this hand, okay? So let's just act like we had the Alaskan Vortex because they got a really good beastie out. Now you don't have an Icy Path to get back, but that's okay, okay? And then you just swing again for another 190, and theoretically that's 380 damage, then plus the 40 right there, so that's 420 damage. We're already almost halfway there. And then we draw, oh, then we get another Hermit. Now this is what I'm talking about also. Had we had a Glacial Demon, we could do that combo that I was talking about earlier. So now theoretically we either attack the caster directly or we destroy their beasties, because we have some pretty big beasties out. So I would say maybe we just pass, right? Because they don't really have a board for Wahila to affect. Maybe don't play Wahila. You have the Hermit, and then you have Pomola, and you have Icy Path. So I would just wait, and I would just attack face, right? And then you always burrow Ambicuck, unless you want to defend, of course, to get that first strike. And then let's just say they summoned a beastie with Fleet. We had that Icy Path ready, right? We had that Icy Path ready. Play that Icy Path, and then now they probably pass on our turn. Burrow. We got about 400 or 580 damage more to go. Boom! Look up. Speak of the devil, right? Okay, they just played a big beastie. Oh no! What are we gonna do, right? I think that we could just, we could play 3 for this, Glacial Demon, and then we could just discard maybe a Hermit, because we don't need 2 of those. There's only 1 board clear, and then make it Frozen 4, and then bam, that's another 190 right there, okay? And then we end our turn in Burrow, okay? We're getting so close to that victory, okay? And then boom, now we're drawing a Frost Ring. Now Frost Ring, you generally want to have early, but not so bad, right? If Glacial Demon has 60 LP, you don't have to attack with Glacial Demon, right? So I would say in this instance, play Frost Ring, and then we do 3, 4, for another Pomola. Now it was Frozen 3 or Frozen 4, so it passed turn to us, Frozen. We passed turn to them, Frozen 3, back to us, Frozen 2. It's gonna be Frozen 1 on their turn, right? So we're gonna leave Glacial Demon up as a defender, and we're gonna attack for another 190, okay? So now, they could have Unholy Fire, or they could have their own stuff, but this is just theory testing, okay, guys? Nothing is gonna go perfect like this, but this is what you do, right, to try to understand the potential combos you have in your deck, okay? Now you have multiple things that you can do, okay? That beastie is Frozen 1 now, okay? So you can either, maybe they played more beasties, you can Wahila, okay? Or you can and then you can like freeze 1 their beastie, and then it won't awaken because of Wahila, because Wahila's effect takes priority over freeze, and then you can just swing for game, right? So that is just one quick test draw with the Frost deck, and I swear that was the first hand I drew. I didn't like do a bunch of different takes. That was the first hand that I drew, okay? So this is a very, very fun deck to try. It's slow, it has a lot of versatility and what it can do, but as always, Frost doesn't have a board clear. So if they do swarm the field and you aren't able to help manage the field early on and in mid game, then late game, or you may not make it to late game where you can take over. So that is the Frost deck, and I hope it helped you guys. Just remember that practice makes perfect. You're gonna lose. It's okay. You just gotta keep trying, come up with new ideas, and eventually you're gonna strike gold, and it's gonna feel so great. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We got you guys, and that's it. Peace. Thanks for watching another Dueling Bros video. We got tons of videos for you to choose from, and if you like our content, please subscribe to our page. It would really help the bros out a lot. See you next time.